All right, we are getting started on the final little bit here for making the buildings. Going to start with the general store, but we gotta get everything working right here. Want to hide everything but the one plane there that the building design is on. So there we go. Now we can duplicate it and flip it over, get it moved into the right position. That looks okay to me. I'll probably back a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Like that should do. Now we want to make them unselectable, and we can get started. Going to get some vertices put in first, as always. And I've got to make sure I am getting everything put into place right. So far, so good. Got half of a window, and there we go. That's all the vertices for that window. Now we're going to do half the building, or half this wall, I should say. And then just replicate it over. So we're going to duplicate it and slide it over, get it to where it more or less matches up, and then adjust as needed. I like the little difference that it has from one side to the other. Now we can put our faces in, and we see we need to slide it all the way forward, get it closer to where it's going to be in the final model. So just keep plugging away here. Get those faces put in. There we go. And now going to copy a window over, merge these two, slide this over just a bit, and now trying to get it positioned right, and that looks good. So we can pull the other end of the wall out on the top and then follow it up with the bottom. Fill it in with faces, and we've got two walls done. Now I want to duplicate the other window and move it over to the other side, and probably about there. Get everything lined up right. Go and merge those two. Make sure everything's flat all the way around, and now we can get these two lined up and fill that face in. And now to do the last face here. And time to get working on windows. There we go. Just a little bit left. And then the body of the building is done. Get that foundation put in. And now for the roof. And yes, I want it looking just as wild as it looks right now on the on the reference image. And I want it like that because I want this to be a unique looking general store. I have to find where I ended up on the other side there. There we go. All right, now I want to put in what's going to be the midline from corner to corner, so everything can get positioned properly. And now I'm just going to scale it in following that midline. But it might do better if I actually have some vertices on the midline so that I can then follow it, or just do it this way and scale it in. That's probably going to give a better effect. So let's do it this way. Scale it in again, move it around. And now to do the same on the other side here. Oh, first we're going to do the front, okay. Thought I had done the back, but obviously not. So now just to merge as we go. That looks about right, so we'll go ahead and scale it in, get things moved around. There we go. Now for this other side. Following the same method we were using earlier. Get it pretty much even there. And lift it up, rotate a little bit and scale it down in. And minor adjustments, of course, but there we go, one side left. Like so. That's good enough. Let's go ahead and merge these two. Get all of them selected again. Extrude it that final time, scale it in, and get it moved in as close as we can get it. Merge and merge. Don't need that midline now. And we can now focus on getting faces built in the very center. Try to get it somewhat workable here. And I think this is going to do it. Slight problem, everything is flipped on the normals, so we get those flipped the right way, and now back to it. There we go. Oh, I think I missed something, didn't I? Yep. Certainly did. That should work better. Much better. All right, now to create the hanging eave. and then connect it to the building, like so. Not much I can really say here, it's just putting faces in, but it is a necessary process nonetheless. Nearly done, and I do believe we are done now with that part. Now we need to make it a little more organic, a little more rounded all the way around. And let's bring this, I guess it's fine. Grabbing the wrong vertices there is never a good thing. Yeah, I think that just about does it. Still have to add in the chimney though. But let's take a good look at it and make sure everything looks all right. Oh, I do want to add something around the base at the front here just to make it look a little more interesting. The original idea was to have some outdoor shelves for display of goods, but then I rethought that idea. Like this one a little bit better. Let's even that up a little bit. And let's see, I'm still not quite happy with it. Let's make it look a little bit more interesting here. Yeah, I think that'll do. Put the faces in the way I meant to, but didn't. So we can lift that top up a little bit as well. And now we can go in and fill in faces here. And then same thing on the other side here. There we go. Now I want to duplicate it and move it over. And now to fill these faces in. And just want to make sure everything's flat first. And now fill those faces in. All right, I think that looks all right for the front. Now let's get the chimney put in. There we go. It's looking good. Now we can move it into position here. Scale those out. And just carry this process out like we normally do. All right. Bring it, well, let's see. maybe a turn to it would look nice. Something a little different, you know? Right about there. Let's shift it over just a bit. There we go. Now I can join vertices and not worry about overhangs or problem spots. That looks okay. Now let's do this bit, and we are just about done with our general store. Have to add the empty in that will allow for control. Gotta make sure I'm doing it right though. I want the building controlled by the empty, not the other way around. And now to get it sized appropriately with another building. There we go. Let's pull it over. Because like every time, I have to make sure the doors sizes match. Needs to be scaled up a little bit. I think that's going to be good enough. Now, I think that is positioned properly. Wonderful. All right, time to get working on the map and bulletin board. So again, we got to hide everything else and get our little layout here laid out properly. And I don't think we're going to need a copy on this one. So we're just going to start in the usual manner by adding a cube to give us a origin point. Then delete everything and get vertices moved around, starting with this. Now that we have this done, the top little bit, we're going to be, how do I want to do this? I could extrude it down now, or I could do that afterwards. How do I want to go about this? All right. Going to go ahead and extrude it down on each side. Okay, there we go. And now let's extrude it in a little bit and rotate it around and then move everything into position. Duplicate it, flip it over, line it up with the other side, and start filling faces in. So far, so good. That one needed to be flipped. Not a problem. Now for the back. There we go. Now, having done that, we are going to need to extrude these in. And then get them, no, I guess leave it like that. But we do need another vertice right there. And we've got a little bit of a problem here. That'll work. And now get rid of that one, put that face back in, and the same with the main one there. And do the same on the back. Fill those faces in. Same thing there and there, and now do the same on the front here. And I'm being arbitrary when I say front and back. But that is how it's laid out in the program. This is the front orthographic view, so there is that. All right, now let's get this next bit done here. This is going to be the decorative bit where all the important stuff is happening within the bounds of this little border. Subdivide here, I believe. Yep. Drag and scale. So that's that. And now let's just keep on going. So there we go. Let's put a vertex in between these two. Like we did on the top there. There we go. And now duplicate it and slide it over. Fill in and extrude twice. No. Fill it in and then subdivide twice. Don't know why I said extrude. And now what we're going to do is put in our border here. Bring it all the way across and then down again. Or grab it at the bottom and pull it all the way across. And now flatten those out and connect them. Throw in some subdivisions and start putting faces in. And this little decorative bit is only for the front. We're not going to have to worry about that for the back. Wonderfully. Oh, missed one there. And there's the front done. Now let's extrude it in a little bit. And let's make it a bit more interesting. Throw another extrusion in. And I think we do one more, yep. And now we connect all these faces. Right like so. There we go. Now I want to add in that midline, but I don't want it to just be a line. I want it to be an actual physical boundary. So extruded it. Now to finish things up, put the faces in on the back here. There we go. Select everything. I'm using the circle method there. And now let's get all these connected. First, I want to get it positioned properly. And now, Get everything connected here. Get rid of that face. And so there's the basic structure. But we need something for it to be standing on. So let's make something real quick for that. Just a little set of legs or a stand. Something like this. Stretch those out. Fill these in with faces here. Find it and bring it over. And now extrude it out and fill the other faces in. And yes, I know some of these are not turned the right way. We are going to fix that right now. So that should do it. Now let's slide it over. I want at least 4, I think 4 would be a good number for this. Let's try to get them positioned right. So there we go. And maybe stretch these out a little bit more and bring them down just a bit. That looks good to me. So now all that's left is to get it sized properly with the map or with the rest of the models. And first things first, as always, we have our empty. Now we can move it around and scale it by grabbing the empty. So let's get it put down where we want it, sized properly. And I think that'll do for the size and rotation, but let's try to get it out of the hill. So let's see, let's move it around where it's just barely in the ground. That looks good. I do believe we are done. Hey there everyone. Just wanted to thank you all for watching this video. And if you did enjoy it, remember to give me a like, and to subscribe if you are so inclined. Also, I do have a Patreon. The links are in the description below. You can have your name in the credits here as well.